Good evening, and welcome to Election Night in America 2024. Tonight, Joe Biden faces a tough battle for re-election against former President Donald Trump. If Biden is re-elected, he will be the oldest president to be re-elected. If Trump is elected, he will be only the second president next to Grover Cleveland to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. From the WP Data Desk, we present swing state polls. Joe Biden has polling leads in Arizona, Georgia, and Pennsylvania, where Trump has a lead in Florida. 50% of Americans believe the country is going in the right direction, 47% believe it's going on the wrong track. Next, taking a look at voters' opinion of Trump, only 38% of Americans view him favorably, compared to 58% who view him unfavorably. Joe Biden is much more popular. 52% of Americans view him favorably, compared to 46% who view him unfavorably. This could help him win the election if he does win tonight. 39% of voters cited the economy as their most important issue. A close second, 27%, said healthcare was their most important issue, followed by 22% who said race relations were the most important. 12% of voters listed other issues. The Washington, D.C. riots on January 6th was a factor in 55% of Americans' votes, and it was not a factor in 40% of Americans' votes. Many people believe that the riots that occurred in D.C. on that fateful day were incited by President Trump. And now, after a long, tumultuous campaign season, we can begin to project our first states. We have a major projection in Vermont. Joe Biden is the projected winner in the state of Vermont. 3 electoral votes from this state. No surprise here. In Indiana, 11 electoral votes out of this state. The Hoosier state will go for Donald Trump. It's been ruby red since 2008. And in Kentucky, 8 electoral votes here. Another very early call out of the state of Kentucky. 8 electoral votes there. It's too early to call in Georgia, where Donald Trump enjoys an early lead. In South Carolina, Biden has an early lead. And in Virginia, Trump has the early lead. Remember, in Virginia, Nova, which is the Democratic area of the state, comes in last. So you can expect Trump to have a lead for a good chunk of the night until Biden overtakes him, which we project him to do. Virginia is essentially a safe Democratic state, but since Trump has a lead, we're not going to call it just yet. So here's our electoral update. 19 electoral votes for Donald Trump, 3 for Joe Biden. It's now 7:30 on the East Coast. We have polls closing in many states, including the swing state of North Carolina, which could decide who wins the presidency tonight. However, in Virginia, we can now project Joe Biden will win there. The votes are coming very quickly, and Biden is now taking the lead in Virginia over Donald Trump, so we can project Joe Biden will win Virginia. We can also project that West Virginia, 4 electoral votes, remember they lost an electoral vote due to the census, will go for Donald Trump. In North Carolina, it's currently too early to call. Joe Biden has the early lead there. It is also too early to call in Ohio. Remember, the blue areas of the state come in first, so Joe Biden has a big lead early on in Ohio. So 23 electoral votes for Donald Trump, 16 for Joe Biden, with many swing states such as Georgia, North Carolina, and Ohio too close to call. Our largest batch of poll closings just closed. Many states, including the swing states of Pennsylvania, Florida, and New Hampshire, as well as Maine 2nd District, which could be in play for Joe Biden. But first, in Connecticut, 7 electoral votes out of the state. No surprise here, Joe Biden's the projected winner. We can also project that Joe Biden will win Delaware. 3 electoral votes out of the state. No surprise, this is his home state. He served in the Senate for Delaware for a very long time. So that's no surprise there. In Illinois, they lost an electoral vote due to the census, but 19 of their electoral votes dropped for Biden. We can also project 2 of Maine's electoral votes will go for Biden. We also have a call out of the 1st District. No surprise out of the 1st District of Maine. 1 electoral vote will go for Joe Biden in that district. In Maryland, 10 electoral votes out of this state will go for Joe Biden. No surprise here. In Massachusetts, this is one of the bluest states in the Union. 11 electoral votes. And in New Jersey, the Garden State, 14 electoral votes. No surprise out of the Garden State. Joe Biden is the projected winner there. In the District of Columbia, this is the most liberal part of the nation. 3 electoral votes, as expected. Solid for Joe Biden. In South Carolina, 9 electoral votes in South Carolina. This was too early to call for the past hour, but Donald Trump is now taking the lead there, and we can project that Donald Trump will win South Carolina. We also can project another southern state will go for former President Trump. 8 electoral votes there. He will defeat President Biden in Alabama. In Mississippi, we can also project Trump will win Mississippi. We can also project that Donald Trump will win the state of Missouri. Take a look at this. He's also going to win the state of Oklahoma and the state of Tennessee. 11 electoral votes out of that state. These are very Republican states, so no surprises yet. In Florida, it's very early. Florida always counts their votes quicker, so that's good news. But Joe Biden is ahead by a little under 16%. In the 2nd Congressional District of Maine, it's currently too early to call between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Donald Trump has a 5.5 point lead. In New Hampshire, 30% of the vote is in there, and Joe Biden has a big early lead. This is expected to go for Joe Biden, but we're not ready to call it for him just yet. In Pennsylvania, 19 electoral votes here. 60% of the vote is for Biden, 36% for Trump, 7% of the vote, and we'll keep you posted on that. And, there are a lot of people saying that whoever wins Pennsylvania is going to win the election, so this could be the most important state of the evening. Here's our electoral update. Donald Trump sits at 74 electoral votes. President Joe Biden sits at 89 electoral votes. And we now have our poll closing in Arkansas. We can now project Arkansas will go for Donald Trump. 6 electoral votes there, so add 6 electoral votes to his tally. 80 electoral votes for Donald Trump, 89 for Joe Biden. It is now 9 o'clock on the East Coast. We now have some major poll closings. This could be the most consequential hour of the night, because the polls closed in many swing states such as Arizona, Texas, Wisconsin, and Michigan. But first, in New Hampshire, we can project 4 electoral votes there. We'll go for Joe Biden. We also have a surprising call. After New Hampshire, we can show you Biden's ahead there. We have a surprising call not yet, but we do have a surprising call in a few seconds for you. But first, Colorado, as expected, will go for Joe Biden. But in Minnesota, interestingly enough, many thought that this would be a tight battleground because the Trump campaign really talked about winning Minnesota, but really, it wasn't that close. We thought it was going to be a lot closer than it is, and Joe Biden, 9 electoral votes. Minnesota, a very good sign for Biden that he's going to win it by that much. In New Mexico, 5 electoral votes here. No surprise out of this state. Joe Biden's the projected winner there. In New York, 27 electoral votes, one of the biggest blue states in the union, behind only California. We can project New York will go for Joe Biden. Now, in the 2nd Congressional District of Maine, 1 electoral vote there. We couldn't call this earlier, but with nearly all the votes in, not nearly all, but a good amount of votes in, we can project that Donald Trump will win the 2nd District of Maine. We can also project that Louisiana will go for Donald Trump, as will 4 of Nebraska's 5 electoral votes. The 2nd District has yet to be called. In North Dakota, both the Dakotas will go for Trump. We can also project that Wyoming, and we can project that that the state will go for Donald Trump, but we cannot project whether it exists or not. So, very questionable existence, but Wyoming will go for Donald Trump, or Wyoming, in quotes, will go for Donald Trump. 12 electoral votes in Arizona, 17% of the vote in. It's very early, but Joe Biden has a lead there. Joe Biden also has the lead in Kansas, but remember, the bluer areas of the state like to come in first. Just another update on Kansas, there are a few more votes that just came in, but the percentages didn't change. We just got 1 more precinct in from Kansas. But in Michigan, 15 electoral votes at stake here. Donald Trump has the lead in Michigan. Joe Biden also has the lead in the 2nd District of Nebraska. This is expected to go for him, but we haven't called it just yet. And in Texas, Joe Biden has a very early lead there. But remember, Texas is another one of the states where they count the Democratic areas of the state before the Republican areas. So, in Wisconsin, Joe Biden has a very early lead there. But some of these numbers are very misleading. So, we'll keep you posted, and you shouldn't expect a call from some of these states like Wisconsin for a while. So, 144 electoral votes for Joe Biden, 102 for Donald Trump. So far, the only real surprise has been Minnesota going for Joe Biden so early. There was some hope there for the Trump campaign. They saw some insider polls that had them within striking distance, but really, Joe Biden ended up winning it. So, yeah. It's now 10 o'clock, and we have our next poll closings in states of Montana, Nevada, Utah, and Iowa. These are interesting because there are some interesting Senate races in Nevada and Montana. So, yeah. And we can now project that Michigan, 15 electoral votes. This was expected to be closer than it ended up being, but Joe Biden will win Michigan by, right now he's up by over 8%, so that could narrow up, but we'll just give you the early numbers out of Michigan. And we can now project that Nebraska's 2nd District will go for Joe Biden as well, no surprise here. However, in Kansas, this was too early to call an hour ago. we can now project that Kansas's 6 electoral votes will go for Donald Trump in Kansas. So we can now, we can now also report, that Montana, 4 electoral votes. We know it says 3. I'll talk to my studios about that, but 4 electoral votes in Montana will go for Donald Trump. We can also project Utah's 6 electoral votes will go in the Trump category. It's too early to call in Iowa. It's also too early to call in Nevada, where just a couple votes have been counted from the very rural areas. So Donald Trump is a big lead, but don't be fooled. Joe Biden is still favored to win the state. So 160 electoral votes for Joe Biden, 118 for Donald Trump. Michigan was a big call for Biden. He needed Michigan to win the election, so they feel good about where they are right now. It's now 11 o'clock, and we have some big poll closings, but first we have breaking news, and it's Pennsylvania, 19 electoral votes. This is huge for the Biden campaign. They will win Pennsylvania's 19 electoral votes. As you can see, they're ahead, and their lead is insurmountable. In California, 55 electoral votes, no surprise out of this state. Hawaii, one of the most diverse states in the union, Joe Biden will win Hawaii. We can also project Joe Biden will win Oregon's 8 electoral votes. This is another state they added an electoral vote due to their population growth. They had 7 in 2020, they're going to have 8 in 2024. Washington, 12 electoral votes. We can also project Joe Biden will win Washington. However, in Ohio, 17 electoral votes. These electoral votes will go for Donald Trump. They're breathing a sigh of relief in the Trump campaign war room. I mean, they obviously they need Ohio to win. And Ohio was one of the must-win states. They're expected to win it, but Joe Biden did better than expected. But still, it's not going to be enough. He had a good effort in Ohio, but it's not going to be enough. Donald Trump will win Ohio. In Idaho, 4 electoral votes from Idaho. No surprise here. So the Biden campaign is closing in on victory. They feel very good about where they are now. They just need a win from one of these states. Unless it's Wisconsin or Nevada or Iowa, then they need to win from another state. But if they win Texas or Georgia or Florida, for example, it's a done deal. Donald Trump lagging behind at 139 electoral votes. We now have major projections to make. It's 12:19 a.m. on the East Coast. And Georgia, we can project this is the tipping point state. 16 electoral votes will go for Joe Biden. So that is our, I guess, most important call of the evening. Joe Biden is ahead by well over 1%. So we can now project that Joe Biden has won the U.S. presidency. He's been re-elected president due to his win in Georgia. We can project that Iowa will go for Donald Trump. This was expected. We just couldn't call it for a while, but we can now project Donald Trump will win Iowa. So 145 electoral votes for Donald Trump, 274 for Joe Biden. Biden has won the presidency due to his win in Georgia, and you know that he had a lot of important victories on the way, like in Michigan and Minnesota and Pennsylvania as well. The polls have just closed in Alaska. We have some major projections to make. First, in Wisconsin, 10 electoral votes. Joe Biden will win Wisconsin. So it is going to go for Joe Biden. This was definitely the most vulnerable Biden state that there was, because it was one of his closest victories behind only Georgia and Arizona, and due to the state's rightward trend. But Joe Biden is going to hold on to it and improve on his 2020 numbers there. However, in Alaska, we can project that Donald Trump will win the state of Alaska. 3 electoral votes here. So 284 electoral votes for Joe Biden, 148 for Donald Trump. We still have some key calls, and Biden has declared victory. He's going to speak very soon. We'll keep you posted on that as well. It's now 2:49 a.m. on the East Coast. Biden has spoke. He's declared victory, but Donald Trump has yet to concede, so we'll keep you updated on that information. But we have some major projections to make. In Arizona, 12 electoral votes. Joe Biden is the projected winner in Arizona. As you can see, his lead is insurmountable. He is a 7-point lead there. We can also project that North Carolina. This is a flip. This is a flip from 2020. Trump ended up winning North Carolina by around 1%, but this time around it's going to go for Joe Biden. Biden, with nearly all the votes counted, is ahead, and that lead is insurmountable. So Joe Biden has flipped North Carolina. However, Texas will go to Donald Trump. There was a lot of talk about Biden winning Texas. He campaigned here. There would have, had Biden won Texas, there would have been no path for victory. But Trump's going to win Texas. He'll stay red for at least one more election cycle, as you can see. But it's getting purple real quick. So 312 electoral votes for Joe Biden, 189 for Donald Trump. We're still awaiting calls in Nevada and Florida, but right now it doesn't really matter because Biden has clinched the presidency, or has clinched re-election with his 312 electoral votes. We have a major projection to make. It's 513. We can project that Nevada will go for Joe Biden. This was a state that he won, narrowly in 2020. He won it by 2.4%. He's going to do a little better here this time, but Nevada is going to stay as a lean Biden state. We now have our final projection of the evening. It's 5:18 a.m. on the East Coast. We can now project that Florida, home of Donald Trump's running mate Ron DeSantis, 31 electoral votes. Donald Trump will win Florida very narrowly, a lot less than he won it by in 2020, but he's going to carry Florida. Although it doesn't really matter because Biden has already clinched the president, has already clinched re-election. So, this is our final map: 318 electoral votes for Joe Biden, 220 for Donald Trump. So I want to thank all of you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. This took a long time to film because my screen recorder didn't want to process it, but hopefully this works. But again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.